Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. We're here, guys, with the penultimate episode of The Flash Season 9, the final season of The Flash. Penultimate, obviously, meaning the episode before the finale. And this is it. It's this episode and next week's, and the show is done. It is crazy to think about that. It's crazy that the show is almost over. It's insane to me. I'm not ready for it to end. I'm not really, like, the show's it's been a roller coaster. It's had its bad moments. It's had its great moments. And this arc with Cobalt Blue and the full circle moment, of course, with the beginning of A New World Part 1, with Barry going back to Season 1 finale and his mom and all that. It was such a great episode. Last week's wasn't as good, but it had its good moments for sure. So I'm hoping, of course, for another great episode. I want a great episode tonight. So here we go, guys. The second to last episode ever of The Flash. Let's jump into it and see what they show us. Let's go.
But the city is a lightning rod for insanity. You could be a clone or a cyborg.
No.
We need to get you to a hospital.
I'm Eddie Thawne. I'm alive and I need to know why.
I told Allegra to tell Iris that we will find Barry before that baby.
How can they, though?
Nora,
Oh.
what's wrong? But he's heading toward 2049. First he was taken to
What?
the past, then if Barry dies and the Speed Force is extinguished, then this timeline and everything in it will be erased forever.
Woo! All right.
Oh, shit. Wait. What?
Not bad for
What?
your first mission as team leader.
Wait, she's wearing a
I
suit?
know your dad's all the way in outer space. I think it's adorable that after all of these years of marriage, you two still have that spark.
Of course. I knew they'd get married. Of course they would.
Chester.
Adam suit.
Flash battled numerous threats to
Jesse
our
Quick.
city. The Reverse Flash, who returned to Central City time and time again.
What? This can't be right. Who are you?
It's me, Dad.
What?
I'm your daughter.
What?
All you have to do is come with me.
Wait, is this the daughter he would have had with Iris? I'm confused.
Sir, are you okay? This is insane.
It is
Eddie
insane.
Thawne died 34 years ago. I think Eddie's causing these portals to open. Maybe
I
it's
mean,
subconscious.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go talk to the black hole.
His name is
So
Eddie
do you guys
Thawne.
finally-
You're telling the truth.
He is. He's confused as all everybody else.
I know.
When we first met, 2013, New Year's
Oh?
Eve, I was
Oh,
under the
yeah.
lanterns at CCPD. On the day you died.
Some idiot who killed himself to stop a
Not an
Supergirl
idiot.
that
You thought it was
devastated
working,
him.
and we thought it maybe could
But if
work.
you didn't do
There's being alive, and
Yeah.
that's what makes life worth living.
And he realized it was all for nothing.
You have been given the rarest gift,
Yeah.
a second chance.
But he's like, what's the purpose of my
Decide
second
how you're
chance?
gonna use-
Present consciousness
Uh-oh.
to your future body.
I could
Oh.
help Barry fight his next battle. Something big is up. An old
Something
friend
big.
of yours has stopped by.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna affect Nora. It's gonna affect. Don't pick it up. Don't pick it up. You, Nora. God damn it, Nora. Ugh. Don't look at those pictures, man. That's not
She's a
good.
pretty amazing person to try to forget.
What do you mean?
Those singularities that have been appearing, they're tied to your emotions. Did nobody tell you?
I got her killed.
Not. You didn't.
You gotta help
Accident,
me.
yeah.
There must be some way.
Just go on and astrally project myself
Yeah,
into my future
I don't know
body,
what the
protect
fuck-
Barry
okay.
from the negative. Be careful who you trust.
And Nora's the one, so it's like, ugh. Was that easy?
I'm looking good, future me.
Come on.
Call Joe, Jenna, see what's for dinner.
Oh, I'm sure Joe would love that, especially because you haven't been up to the country house in a while, right?
Oh.
Considering you're only there, what, twice a year?
Yeah, about that. I mean, between the Cronach Wars and helping the Sobotian freedom fighters. Wait, what? Did you see
I said I'm sorry, okay? I can't.
She realizes in the future I become so enthralled with being a hero that.
Your heart is stronger than your fear. And it'll know what to say to Cecile.
Oh, okay. Chester, go for a pep talk.
Why do you think you're here?
Oh my God.
And you must be here for a purpose. Maybe it has something to do with the other Thawne.
I am from the future, and you are the only Thawne to be all but forgotten. He was just trying to get under my skin.
And it worked, didn't it? You proved him wrong. What if you had the power to get that life back?
Yeah, the turning.
The Flash
Yeah.
gets his power from the Speed Force. It needs someone to stand up to the Flash.
And you're the man
And
they
that should
want.
be you.
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't understand.
Are you a waste of a man, like Eobard said?
Dude. Come on, you'd have to know this is not her.
You can have that life if you take it.
He's gonna take it.
I need some air.
I figured that he was probably gonna decline it now, but he'll choose it later.
Dad,
Not your Nora.
what
well-
are you doing here?
Shouldn't have trusted her, Barry. Shouldn't have trusted her.
Nora, you're not gonna make me hurt her.
Might force you to. Ooh.
Kill your daughter, or I kill you. Eddie, I told you, we're getting your life back.
No.
Thank God he walked in.
This isn't right.
Sacrifice your life to save me. I never thanked you.
You too, Bear. Everything's wrong.
It's messed up, man. It's a timeline. Yeah, it's crazy.
I used to be Malcolm Gilmore. I had
Yeah.
his life, his memories. What the hell? Wait,
Timeline.
I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all made of negative tachyons.
Mm-hmm.
Like a false reality, the negative Speed Force.
Makes sense. It's all been leading up to the reveal of Cobalt Blue. Let's try for the pep talk.
Bookmark is recalibrating.
Joe and I just finally found a balance between
Yeah,
my
then the
duties
balance
here
gets broken.
and my time with my family.
Maybe in the future you guys hang out in like a VR portal to make a
No.
No,
No.
Chester, no, I know myself.
You're making it work, balancing being a fracking superhero and
Fracking.
being with your family. Cecilia, it's your heart.
I knew he was gonna say hard.
Avatar for what?
The negative
Well,
Speed Force, it
a
needs a
speedster?
surrogate on Earth
Yeah.
to carry out its plan.
Crystal showed me a better life. One with
Yeah,
the
it's all
daughter
tricking you though.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to have. Brought me back from the dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that evil?
We'll find a way to save you. You could choose to start a new life.
He lies.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Because all your team tried to do today was cuff me. I was a fool to give up.
Shit,
There's
it's-
still time.
Come on, you don't believe that.
Don't tell me what I believe. It's funny. Returning from the dead really has a way of making you realize the mistakes you made in your old life. The second I died, everyone forgot about
That's
me.
not true.
And you,
Not true.
Barry, the man I sacrificed my life for, you thanked me by stealing my fiancée. If I choose the crystal,
He's already. Come on, dude. You already have basically.
The life you're talking about, it's not yours. Iris isn't your wife.
He doesn't want to hear that.
Nora's not your daughter. What Iris will want you to do.
Oh, he's gonna say, "Oh, have me back." Oh. Oh. That's cool.
Seems like
Is he gonna have to actually find his daughter right now? Oh shit! Oh, the shield. Slow mo. It's cool to see the blue lightning, by the way, on her. Just saying. Slow. They love him on slow mo in this fight. Ooh. Wow, this fight's going on longer than I thought. I thought it'd be like a quick little run thing. No.
I know you're still in there.
He can't do it. He
I
can't
need
actually
your
hurt her.
help to fight this thing.
The little girl you loved is long.
No, not long gone at all. No. Oh.
Iris,
Oh shh.
my beautiful.
Oh no.
If you want me to leave, I'll go. But it's me, your
Eddie.
Eddie.
The actual Eddie. It's kind of weird. See, this meeting is gonna be his decision. What is he gonna do?
I just want to do the right thing.
He's been manipulated.
But
Family photo. Uh-oh.
actually,
Oh no. Oh
I
no.
should stay.
And you'll die in the street like an animal.
Wait. Oh, it's. Yep. Whoa. Okay, so it's a blue suit, not black.
Impressive.
Oh.
But I know you, empath.
Doctor Strange effect? Kinda. Oh, so she has the power kinda like Keon, even though she like turned him into, she'll be into dust. Don't touch that.
Call me Virtue.
Virtue? So we have a name now, okay.
All you have to do Just say I do.
No, I don't. Eddie.
You don't mean that.
Eddie, I'm not sure how you got here, but something is wrong. And if you let us, we will help you.
Yep, it's going to Eddie.
Big Nora's gone?
Not gone for good, I hope not.
The timeline is starting to fracture.
Oh.
And it'll spread in every direction.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's the day we got married.
It's crazy, he's talking to older Iris. It's weird.
Every day I love you more than I even thought was possible.
Oh, that's
And
so
no matter
sweet.
what,
Oh, we got 3 more minutes left. Let's go. Come on, come on. Man, manipulation. He's gonna. Come on. They're waiting for you. I'm so glad that I could say this. This was a good episode of the show. I was worried. I'm like, man, we'll see what happens, because last week wasn't terrible, but it definitely was a huge step down from, of course, the beginning of A New World, Part 1 being so fucking amazing, almost a perfect episode, basically, and last week's episode being Part 2. Part 3 tonight, I gotta say, was really, really good. There's some things I have to talk about in terms of negative, but a lot of positives. Now, I know the first thing people are probably going to want to talk about, of course, is Eddie in terms of this episode, because there's a lot of Eddie in this episode, and, you know, freaking fantastic job. I mean, so good how they were handling this, because it can be seen as kind of, I wouldn't say controversial, but more like probably an issue maybe with some people, because Eddie is somebody who, you know, was this good character, of course, but then the way they wrote him in season 1 in terms of him being with Iris, and ultimately Iris was going to end with Barry, of course, Iris telling him it was always Barry, and all that. But now having Eddie really going to the dark side, but they give a lot of good points, and they also make a point to keep referring and making sure everyone knows Eddie's being manipulated by the crystal. It's in the negative Speed Force, like, that's exactly what's happening. It's not like Eddie's just showing up like, okay, I'm gonna go evil now. It's like, he is questioning what's going on. Who am I? Who is this Eddie guy? Wait, I'm Eddie. And then these portals are opening up. He's seeing another version of Nora, which, by the way, I don't know about that wig on the actress Jessica Parker Kennedy. I think that's her name. But they should have chose a different look for this version of Nora. And honestly, they probably should have picked somebody else. But I think the reason why they chose her to play this version of Eddie's child with Iris is because of the recognizability of her face. Because this is Barry and Iris's kid. So we're going to have her play the version that Eddie is seeing in terms of, oh, this is my daughter with Iris. I just wish it was a little bit of a different look, maybe like a different blonde wig or something. Regardless, Eddie's being manipulated. When he goes to Flash Museum, that's when he gets the first inkling of, wait a minute, I shot myself, I sacrificed myself, and Reverse Flash didn't stop. He kept coming back. The whole point of my sacrifice was to stop him from killing the Flash, killing the hero of Central City, and it didn't work. And that's the thing. Timeline shit is weird. And Thawne has said this in the past. Like, timeline shit is weird. So, unfortunately, Eddie's thing failed. Now, also, they're also making this point as well, because there were some questions being brought up last week when they revealed that this is Eddie, right? This is not a version of Eddie. This is Eddie from season 1. Was Eddie truly dead? Or did Eddie get sent somewhere and doesn't remember and he was actually alive? No, it turns out apparently he was dead. But he was brought back. And he was being manipulated in the timeline, believing his life, or his life as this Malcolm character. And then everything starts to unravel. Because Nora, when he first runs into, you know, the Team Flash in the future, which I have a thing to talk about in a second, but in terms of the Eddie stuff, then Nora gets possessed. Then she starts really egging him on and trying to talk to him and saying, well, maybe he gets powered by the Speed Force, you know, you could, the negative side, you could get the life you wanted. Are you pathetic? Are you still the nothing person that sacrificed yourself and all that? Like, it was really going in. And I have to, round of applause to Jessica playing Nora in that scene where she's really just pushing and pushing and pushing on Eddie, because that was pretty intense. And she was saying a lot of really mean shit, but you saw where he was like starting to think, well, no, I'm not that anymore. I'm not that person anymore. And so then he, of course, left, and then here comes Barry, our Barry, of course, being brought into 2049, and then he gets shocked. And that sequence of him fighting Nora, which he wasn't the one fighting Nora, he was more like dodging and blocking and running away. That was a really cool sequence, because I thought it was actually going to be shorter than what it was. Because at a certain point, I'm like, oh, there's a stopping point there, that's where they're going to stop. Oh, they keep going. A lot of slow-mo moments. Like they did a pretty good job with that chase scene. And then, of course, having Virtue, which we'll get to, the Cecile stuff, but she, of course, uses like a Doctor Strange kind of move, like phasing the Cobalt Blue crystal version of Nora out of Nora and then obliterating it in a different way, because Keone did that same thing to Mark, turning him, I think I said the reaction to dust, but more like a dirt or whatever, but then reanimated and brought him back. But in this sense, Virtue, Cecile, in the future with her blue suit, by the way, I thought it was black. I guess it was black in that for opening shot we saw 2049, but now she's blue suit. Her name is Virtue, but she stops it, of course. And then, of course, we have Eddie confronting Iris after having this gigantic, great scene with Barry, which was really intense. It was really good in the house. And having Eddie start to slowly turn, because he's like, yeah, it's great to see you, Barry, and thank you for saving me from, I say crystal version, the negative Speed Force crystal version of Nora. But now I have issues because you got the life that I could have had. And so they're making good points about that, about how Eddie's starting to turn. And then, Barry's saying, look, you can have, you have a second chance. We can figure this out. You can have a new start in life. And Eddie's like, I wanted what you got. I was supposed to be with Iris. That was supposed to be me. So they were doing a really good job, and that scene was great, brother. They performed that scene really damn well. Like, it was really intense, really impactful, especially after a scene that I just, whatever. But, and then, of course, Eddie confronts Iris. And this is one of the things I'm going to tie into a little bit later in terms of some of the negatives. This is a positive, though. Iris looked older in the 2049. There's some issues with the Chester stuff and Allegra and Cecile, but anyways. So, Iris tells Eddie, I can't believe you're here. Why can't you stay? And then the picture changes to their child. And then, Iris like, no, it's always been Barry. And that was the turning point. And then, of course, he accepts the crystal, opens the portal on his own, not realizing that the portals are kind of opening, like due to his emotions or whatever. So in terms of some negative real quick. So I said that Iris looked older in 2049, and she actually did. So they actually made her hair a little darker, or like they added some gray or whatever, and they did her hair a little bit differently. So she looked older in 2049. Chester, Allegra, and Cecile did not look older at all. I was like questioning, is this 2049? They're showing Nora, so it's implying here's Nora. So this is the future timeline. They don't look any different. They really didn't look any different at all. I'm like, they could have did something to make them look a little bit older, but they didn't. We're jumping far ahead into the future here. Because literally, when they're standing around after, like in the final, as I call it, the 6th segment, because it's like first segment, then break, second break, all that. In the 6th and final segment of the episode, when we come back and Barry's in the course in 2049 talking to all of them, and there's, Cecile in her blue suit or whatever, Virtue, and they're all in 2049, it's like, it looks like just an episode of The Flash without Mark there and Keone, which there's no explanation of where they're at in 2049. I guess it doesn't matter. Well, Keone's probably out being goddess or whatever. But, like, it looks like they're just in present day. But the timeline's being all screwed up. So that's like how they're explaining, the timeline is all breaking apart, which is really unfortunate. Because Barry's like, I want to break the timeline. Not really. But I wish it would have made them look a little older. The scene where Cecile has to have a pep talk from Chester, because apparently Keone's like, well, no, you're the right person to do this. Like, is he? Is he though? The pep talk scene, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't, crazy or whatever. It wasn't like a really good scene, because we've seen so many pep talks on the show. At a certain point, I grow numb to them, because they really don't add to like anything really new to them. There are a couple of exceptions. There was one earlier, earlier this season, where Joe had a great pep talk with Barry. I think it was the 5th episode, the episode he was leaving. I think that was when it was. I have to go back and look at that. I think it was that, but that was really, really good. And there's been some good-ish to good pep talks throughout the last couple of seasons, but it's been very, very rare, because a lot of them are just kind of rehashing the same shit, because we've been doing it for so long. So I get the point of like, well, Cecile's scared because in the future she finds out she doesn't go home only twice a year, because the whole separation thing where Joe's away with her kid or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I could have done without it, because I honestly forgot a little bit about that scene, because when we moved on, we actually got to this really great, amazing Eddie and Barry scene where they're really going at each other and really arguing about their lives and shit. This is pretty crazy. So yeah, overall, I had a good time with the episode. I think that, you know, this show is definitely coming to a head, and I tweeted this out because I found out, I think we're about 10 or 15 minutes into this episode, which of course is the penultimate, the episode before the fucking finale, the series finale of The Flash. TV Line drops the teaser for the finale. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I didn't watch it, but I'm like, why would TV Line like run and post the fucking teaser for the finale when we're still watching this episode? It's ridiculous. That is so fucking stupid. But it really feels like now, even though A New World Part 1, of course, and Part 2, and now Part 3 have been all building up to the finale, it really felt like after Eddie walks out of Iris's, you know, out of Iris and Barry's, like, they're still there, by the way. They haven't moved. You think they'd be, like, in a house by now, but I guess budget and location, so it's fine. But when Eddie leaves, and after he leaves talking to Iris, that, to me, that was the official, now we're setting up the finale. Because at that point, it is obvious, clear as day, he's going to select the crystal. He's going to make the choice. And it was all about manipulation. That's the whole thing. And the crystal also showed, you know, Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and I think it was somebody else in there as well. I think, was there another speedster I'm forgetting? Like, they showed like 4 shots. Maybe it was both versions of Thawne. I can't remember. But that was a really cool, like, little thing. They're like, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for the finale. I mean, I'm also not ready for the finale because I'm not ready for the show to end. I'm not. But it has been an incredible journey. We have one more episode and we're done. And thankfully, this episode overall was really good. Had some moments. And if I'm forgetting something, I do apologize. There's a lot of references about the Watchtower and everything in the future. That was really cool to hear. But we'll see. Final episode coming next week. I'm probably going to make maybe a video leading up to the finale, discussing basically the lead up to the end of the show. And obviously I'm thinking next week's episode is going to be really long. Like, the video is going to be really long in terms of my discussion and talking. So expect a longer video. But The Flash is coming to an end, guys. Next week. A week from today. And I'm ready to see what happens. I'm ready to see how they're going to conclude this show that I think deserves a great ending. And I really hope so, based on these last 4 episodes. Even though this episode was really good and last week's episode wasn't the best, Part 1 really got me excited and hopeful that they can stick the landing with the final episode. And this arc has been really good compared to the Red Death shit, which I really felt they could have done so much more. Like, I think that's going to be kind of part of my video, is talking about how I feel like this season could have been so much better leading up, because it's the last season of the show. Anyways, I'm done talking. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon. And yeah, The Flash, it's almost over. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.